Hello. Here's another very interesting story. And sometimes you just feel such compassion, such sympathy for people because they come across as victims. And in this story here, how can you not feel compassion for Virginia Roberts Giuffre? I'm not sure how much substance there is in the story that she's got. But she just comes across as somebody who has had such a dreadful life and a series, I think, a series of problems. Um, Prince Andrew today she filed a civil lawsuit against Prince Andrew in Australia in America. She's actually from Australia. Now lives in Australia. She's now 38, but when she was much younger, um, she apparently had a liaison with Prince Andrew. And there seems to be photographic evidence of their connection. There's that photograph of him with his hand round her. His team says that this was not a genuine photo and it's probably been doctored. I just don't know. It seems very, very unlikely. He has no memory of the photograph being taken. But his account of things is in itself very odd. This is somebody who's come from a world of privilege where he's not used to being asked direct questions. He's used to a certain amount of civility. Anyway, Virginia, we learned today, is told that if she didn't take this case out, she would lose credibility. And she has to hold the rich and powerful to account. Well, we wonder, in a sense, why this hasn't become a criminal case if it's so serious. But it goes back to 2014 December when she blew the whistle in the aftermath of the Epstein arrest. In return, Prince Andrew's team says it's false and without foundation, and. We hear stories that Virginia Roberts Giuffre has a history of settling out of court, which presumably she was looking for in this instance. Her team are saying they wanted an explanation or context and to avoid legal action. I don't understand how there can be any explanation or context for the allegation. It seems very simple. And there's certainly a connection, an inappropriate connection between Prince Andrew and Epstein. We've got the photograph in 2010, quite apart from this photograph in Ghislaine Maxwell's house in 2001 with Andrew's arm around the girl. This all feels like, it all feels really like looking at somebody's underwear. It's not an attractive bit of history, and the sooner it's over, probably the better for all of us. On the other hand, as I say, whatever the story, Virginia Roberts Giuffre comes across as a victim, and your heart cannot but go out to her. But this is a story that I hope ends quickly. Anyway, do leave me your thoughts on this. I'd be very interested to know what you think. I also would like to know, why has Andrew been stonewalling this girl who is obviously hurting? Where is his compassion? If he has enough compassion to put his arm around somebody in 2001, why isn't he doing so now? That is the appropriate thing to be doing, or maybe not putting his arm around her, but at least offering some sort of conversation. Unless, maybe he has something very specific to hide. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. It's not for me to judge. It's simply for us to raise an eyebrow and say this is murky, distressing stuff, but we should concentrate on the fact that there is a victim here who is clearly hurting. And one way or another, we need to give her an ending. We need to give her compassion. Do ring the bell.